In today's video, it's going to be really fun. I'm going to be reviewing this Savage 110 Ultralite in 28 Nosler. We're going to review the rifle. We're going to talk about why it's chambered in 28 Nosler. And then we're taking it to the range to see how it shoots. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's go ahead and look at this Savage 110 Ultralite. And if you're familiar with the Savage 110 Ultralite, you're going to notice that there's one big major change. This is not the factory stock that comes on the Savage 110 Ultralite. And if you've seen the factory stock, I think you can know why it's been replaced. So this is actually my dad's rifle, and he got this about 6 months ago. He's put 50 rounds through it, and he asked me to start doing some load development for it. So let's go over more of the specs about this rifle. FYI, this is a Bell & Carlson stock. Let's just check out the barrel. This is a Proof Research barrel. And let me show you the twist rate. 1 and 8.4. Again, 28 Nosler. Again, it's a carbon fiber barrel. And the length on it, 24 inches. With this muzzle brake, it's 26. So it's really built to be lightweight. With the original stock, it comes in at 6 pounds with no scope. I haven't weighed this with this new stock, but it's still a pretty light rifle. Also, when you get one of their higher quality rifles, it of course comes with their famous AccuTrigger. And this one has been adjusted down to 13 ounces. So it's a little less than a pound. Very light trigger. So why did my dad get a 28 Nosler instead of something with not as much recoil and a bit better barrel life? Well, he likes Magnums just as much as I do. In fact, he's had a 340 Weatherby Magnum, a 300 Weatherby Magnum, a 300 Winchester Magnum, a 6.5 PRC, and now he got himself a 28 Nosler. You know, and he's actually never owned a 7mm cartridge. And when he was in his teens and early 20s, guess what came out? 7mm Remington Magnum. And of course the 7 mag is a good cartridge, but I think there was a ton of hype in 1962 for that cartridge, and he just wasn't a fan of it. And so I think he wanted something a little more than a 7 mag. And well, the 28 Nosler gives you 2 to maybe 300 feet per second more velocity, depending on the barrel length. And so he went with the bigger cartridge. You might ask, why didn't he go with the 7 rum? Well, can you even find 7 rum guns? So he went with the 28 Nosler, and I think it was a great choice. Is it a little overbore? Yes. Short barrel life? Yeah. But it's a darn good cartridge. So let's talk pros. I think the big reason you get one of these is for this Proof Research barrel, this carbon fiber barrel. My dad has this in a 6.5 PRC, and it shoots lights out. And so that was the main reason he got this, was because it's not that expensive for a carbon fiber barrel, and he knows that these barrels shoot pretty darn well. The other thing that I like, and I'm sure he really likes, is the AccuTrigger. Again, it's set a little under a pound. Might be light for hunting, but it's pretty darn nice. Now let's talk about the cons. There's only a few, but the number one con I see with this Savage 110 Ultralite is the cheap stock. This stock makes Fisher-Price plastic toys look high-end. Okay, not really, but this stock is so cheap looking and so cheap feeling as well. This is the stock that you would kind of expect out of a budget rifle that's $400, $600. You know, if the rifle costs that would be totally fine. The problem is this rifle costs $1,200 to $1,400. And that's why my dad went and bought a much nicer stock for it. Two other things that I think this rifle is not great on. Number one is the bolt. I think a good description of this bolt would be robust. I don't think any Savage bolt is ever known for its smoothness. This one's not bad, but again, I think robust is a perfect word for these actions. The next thing that I think Savage really cheaped out on is the magazine. Yeah, it's okay. I have a Remington 783, so there's proof it's a Remington. I would say this magazine is better than the magazine that comes on this $1,200 rifle. So yeah, Savage could do much better with their magazine. Do want to bring up one more thing. I did put up a short on this rifle. A lot of you commented on how bad does this thing really kick, because it's a 6-pound rifle with no scope in a Ultra Magnum in the 28 Nosler. Well, with this break, it's not bad at all. Again, I've shot this out to 1,000 yards. It was the easiest rifle we were able to get to 1,000 yards that day compared to a 300 Win Mag and a 6.5 PRC. And, you know, it does have a little bit of kick, but with this break, it's very tame. So it's not bad at all. Overall, especially with this upgraded stock, this is a really nice rifle. There's not a lot of bad things to say about it. The bullet that we'll be shooting today at the range is the Hornady 175 grain ELD-X. Now I know what you guys are saying, but Reloading Weatherby, you hate the ELD-X and you hate cup and core bullets. If it's not bonded or monolithic, why even try it? Well, this is, again, not my rifle, not my load. This is just for my dad, so oh well. Now we are using H1000. As for seating depth, one of the issues with this Savage 110 Ultralite is that the magazine's not long enough for you to be able to really seat this bullet close to the lands. So I can't seat it 20 thousandths off the lands and still fit it in the magazine. So we've loaded it to the maximum magazine length, which is going to be about 1/10 of an inch away from the lands. So there's a decent amount of jump for this.
That ones are 50.
Yeah, but I'm
Big ones are 20 millimeters. Ones are 50.
yeah, but I'm
The big ones are 20 millimeters.
We used to go to Texas Roadhouse. I got it.
Oh, I missed.
That was good.
thanks for asking me to move.
Go ahead and
Yep.
shoot.
Yep.
Yeah, shoots really
They
cool.
bring them in about.
Love one.
That's the big game.
Would you hold or die?
Got a court date on Wednesday.
Just got back from the range and, well, that did not go as I thought it would go. The first group I shot, as you remember, did pretty terrible. It's the worst group. So bad I'm not even going to attempt to measure it, but probably around 2-inch group. The next group, it started to get better, a little over an inch. I don't know, probably 1.2 inches or less, 1.1. Still not great. You know, I was hoping to get closer to half MOA today, and just didn't happen. If you're wondering, this was a 30-06 that I shot earlier, so it was shooting a little high. 78 grains of H1000 gave me the best results. This is right at 1 inch, so right at MOA. You know, it's not bad, but also not exactly what my dad was hoping for, or me. So Best group of the day, but not good enough. A couple parting thoughts. You know, this rifle just might not like the 175 grain ELD-X. And like I mentioned previously with the magazine and not being able to seat it closer to the lands, it could be an issue going forward with this bullet. Lastly, let's talk recoil. So I've only shot this before today probably 1 to 3 times. The recoil is a little bit more than I remembered. I would say it recoiled a little more than my 300 Weatherby when you compare them with both brakes being on. It wasn't bad. Like, it didn't punish the shoulder. It was just surprisingly snappy and very loud. But overall, I think we're going to get this rifle shooting much better with a different bullet. Thanks guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments.